And speaking of basketball, I do just want to also say, and this might be controversial, if I was Boston, I wouldn't trade for KD.
I forgot about
That's
the whole thing.
or like it depends on the package. Like you just wouldn't do it if it involves Jaylen Brown.
I wouldn't do it if it involves Jaylen Brown. And my reasoning behind that is, one, I can say I have a low risk tolerance if I was a GM. Kevin Durant, as we know, I love Kevin Durant. He's a generational talent. One of the greatest scorers of all time. No, his
4
contract
years.
4 years off.
Oh, it's 4?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit.
So you'll have him for a while. But my thing with it is, one, you get KD, he's going to be hurt for some portion of the season. It's going to happen. It's just what has been happening. It's the track record at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to miss 20, 25 games or so. You can't predict when that will be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you have a team that went to the NBA Finals. Now, one might be able to nitpick and say, hey, if the Bucks were healthy, I wouldn't have been there. Maybe not. Maybe so. Can't say, but they made it. And the moves they already made this offseason, I feel like made the team better. Like, I already feel they are a championship level team. And they have depth to help them get through the regular season, which is part of the grind, because making it through 82.
Yeah,
It's been knocking for a while.
Oh, was it me? Could have been.
I don't know what it was.
Making it through an 82 game season is difficult. So you need some depth and whatnot. You need some bodies to help you get through it. And again, KD and Tatum would be a great tandem, but I feel like what you can get with Tatum and Brown. And what you can get with Tatum and Brown and the rest of the depth that they have, especially if we got to trade Marcus Smart too. And I know how he felt Marcus Smart on this podcast, but you know what it is. Like, I don't think that move significantly improves Boston, because Boston is already a championship level contender.
So then you have.
Well, I guess like for me, it's like we don't have enough information. Jaylen Brown is 2 years out from free agency.
Yep.
So if you think that he's going to re-sign long term, because he has no incentive to sign an extension right now. So you're going to have to play it out until he's a free agent to keep him. If you think that there's a chance that you could lose him for nothing, then I say pull the trigger.
That's a fair point.
You got 80 under contract for 4 years. I'm sure he wants to play with Tatum, so you don't have to worry about him being flight risk or trying to force his way out.
He also wanted to play in Brooklyn. You see how that went.
I would say say what you will about Jason Tatum, but he's more reliable than Kyrie Irving as a co-star. So it's like I think part of the reason he wants out now is because like shit's all in flux and they not letting him do what he want to do. So like if you think that Jaylen Brown is going to be a Celtic for the next 6 years, or he wants to be a Celtic for the next 6 years, like yes, you want to build with you. You already have the infrastructure in place. You already have the team culture in place. Like, you don't have to throw in like a new agent of chaos, basically. Like
that's what it would
bringing
be.
in KD.
Yeah.
But again, like if you aren't sure, like if there's a chance, like he has a one or nine, like some teams might be opening up cap space to go grab him. Like I think it's a risk worth taking, because like you go from finals contender, you go from top 2 team guaranteed in the East to title favorite. Like that's the jump from present day Jaylen Brown to present day Kevin.
To be fair though, they're already considered the favorites in the East.
On a tier with the Bucks. Like that puts them in a tier on their own. That puts them in a tier above all the teams in the West.
I mean, they betting odds can't get much better right now. I mean,
think about like where, it's like, okay, top 2 teams in the West during the KD Warriors era was Warriors and the Rockets, but it was like Rockets, Warriors. Whereas like right now it's Celtics, Bucks.
See, and I don't feel like adding KD changes where they are. Personally, I don't think it.
Why? Because KD doesn't make people around him better, or?
Oh, I'm not saying all that now. Don't put them words in my mouth.
No, I'm asking. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No, it's for me, it's more so, again, availability. And they already, like, you already know that you have a team that is
because you're there.
And I just have concerns, one, about KD's, I don't want to say like, but like KD can,
he's moody.
Yes, he can be moody. We thought he wanted the whole Brooklyn thing falling apart, which again, like, that's partly your fault, KD. Like, to have everything go bad because everything that you wanted happened, and now you're dealing with the circumstances. You're like, I don't want to be there no more. Like, that's kind of weak to me. But like, I wouldn't do it if I was Boston, especially if you have to give up Marcus Smart in addition to Jaylen Brown.
Now that I kind of agree with you on. Like, if it's Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and first round picks,
then maybe.
Yeah, because again, like I think that the gap between them is still that large, and it slots Tatum where I think Tatum needs to be, which is the number 2 option, playing off of KD.
Shoot, you keep letting Jaylen Brown hoop, he might end up being number 2 option.
And that again is like something you got to take into consideration. Is like if Jaylen Brown can learn how to dribble, like I think that he is more. I was telling my brother this during the finals. It's like if Jaylen Brown could dribble, he would be the number 1 dude on the. He has the mentality for it. He wants to be that.
Yep.
I feel like Jason Tatum is more suited to be a complimentary.
I would agree with that.
Star. So it's like you bring in KD. KD slots in as your number 1. Tatum is like the best number 2 in the league.
Yep.
And then you still have all that depth because you're only turning Jaylen Brown and Derek White into KD. You still have Brogdon. You still have Smart. You still have Horford. You still have Williams. You have Williams. You have.
That's why I said they had a good offense.
You know what I mean? Like you have good Gallinari, who I don't know if he'll hold up in the playoffs, but like
they'll have 4 to 5 all defensive team.
But like that's depth that you have for KD inevitably missing 25 games in the regular season. Like keep him healthy for the playoffs. And then make a push because like he stayed healthy. I mean, granted he hasn't had long runs, but he stayed healthy and playing like 40 some odd minutes a game in the playoffs.
And then one more part is just the age. Like you have a young core that can
grow.
How
old is KD?
34.
He'll be 34 by the start.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown thinks he's 26.
So you know what I mean? Like I just and again I know part of it is my risk tolerance and it's a little bit lower in the situation where I'm like I know this can work. So I did what I did this offseason to kind of put some tweaks around it to make it better. But like I like what they did.
They made some moves, man.
Again, unless he learns how to dribble, I don't think Jaylen Brown will ever be as good as Kevin Durant is right now.
That's fair. That's real fair.